You may kindly take your seats. We're expecting our chief guest. Let's have the screen, please, so that we appreciate the screen, please. Our keynote address today, ladies and gentlemen, credibility, professionalism, accountability. A big round of applause to the chairman, Eastpak Yuko. Big round of applause, please. And the council members, Eastpak council members, a big round of applause for them. Of course, we want to appreciate the Chief Executive Officer, makofi yake tafadhali. Economic headwinds and resilience of the nation. That is our theme. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Baba, I was told that I have 10 minutes to speak, and I rebelled and said I wouldn't stop speaking until you arrived. And so now that you're here, if I can move just back 2 slides, I'll make 3 more statements, and then I will close. But the clicker keeps moving wrongly. So, Baba, we're speaking about sustainability in accounting, and I'm your act before your act. So I'm supposed to be the entertainment, and then you come and tell us what is real. So, but the technology is not working for me. It just keeps jumping around. So I just want to speak about 2 things that we spoke about. One of them is, why is sustainability important? And why is Africa's voice so important globally? And why is Eastpak's voice such an influential voice the world over? And what has Eastpak done? And how do we shape things going forward? And in that context, I wanted to speak about the industry-specific standards, and agriculture in particular, which employs so many people in Kenya. And because accountants' role is about job creation, value creation, and capturing that value, I actually wanted to end where we were last year. If I can just get to that slide, then we will. And that story is, in March 2023, we had a meeting, and somebody reminded me of that meeting yesterday. I'm looking at FCPA Philip Kakai, and I'm looking at Madam CEO, as your chairman likes to call you. And that was that we went together with, if somebody else is controlling the slides, just go to the very last slide, to the picture, and then we'll just stop there. Good, finish, thank you. Clearly, I was not in control. So if you believe you're up here, just remember that God is in control. And God bless Kenya. So in this meeting, or centered around this meeting, Mr. President asked us one question, which is, how do we capture the value of our nature? How do we capture the value of our youth, of our human capital? How do we make sure, and I'm passing this question to the entire room, how do our accountants make sure that we're capturing the value creation potential of this great continent that we have? And that is the question that we still have on the table and that we still need to resolve. And so in that regard, just know that over the next year, there are going to be industry-specific standards, including agriculture and processed foods, that are going to come out and that are going to require input in order to shape. And what I said, and this is where I'll close, Madam CEO and Mr. Chair, is that Eastpak and its roadmap and the work that you've done over the past year, launching the roadmap and the work of the entire council, is what has helped to shape the roadmap development tool of the IFRS Foundation globally. And so Africa's voice is continuing to shape that, and is continuing to move us forward on this journey. And if we don't speak up, and if we don't participate actively, then we won't be heard. And my last to you is that I did my research this morning. The FSA credentials, which is the sustainability credentials that the IFRS Foundation has, thanks to ISPAC's negotiation, has a significant discount, which ISPAC will communicate, for all Kenyans. And it's available already now. And there are 10 testing centers in Kenya, which is another amazing certificate that you can get and that qualifies you. And with this, Baba, I promised you that the next time I see you, I will come down and greet appropriately. So that's exactly what I'm doing. But you also have to greet me back, which means you have to greet me back. So I met Baba in the plane yesterday, and then we met again in the evening, and he's officially adopted as family. And this morning, Baba, I was told that your name is Baba. And I said that my father died when I was 19, and I've adopted 3 fathers, who each became the chairperson of a nonprofit that I set up 25 years ago. Unfortunately, they are all deceased. So now, you are my new Baba. Thank you. I'm adopted. Asante sana. And that was the end of my speech.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Over to you, CPA Wala.
Thank you, Makazi. I think we'll go quickly to the session of question and answer for those 2 presentations from SSB, Sustainability Reporting Standards on climate-related disclosures. I do remember Simon Messenger mentioned things to do with materiality, to disclose climate-related information that are relevant to investors, and also risks. This roadmap, and I'm very grateful for members of the committee for that contribution and where we are. So members, we are short of time. We'll quickly take questions. Maybe Mwakazi can guide on the other screens. We can start with Pride 1, maybe 1 or 2 questions, and then we go to the other screens. Mwakazi. There's one right here.
Thank you so much. So Pride in 1, Pride in 2, please be ready. Sarova, please be ready. 1 question from each venue. Asante.
Thank you. My name is CPA Deko Mohammed, the Nomad Son. All the way from Pride 1, I greet you, Baba. Baba Asabet Kisumu Igniabara, I win you the Luo Martin. I want to ask 3 questions, 2 for Simon Messenger and 1 question for Dr. Ndidi. My 2 questions for Simon is how can SMEs adapt sustainability reporting accounting framework that are often designed for larger institutions or organizations? Number 2, how should companies determine material sustainability reporting relevant to their stakeholders? My final question for Dr. Ndidi is, what are your thoughts on the mandatory ESG disclosure under IFRS S1 and S2 issued by ISSB? Thank you. I submit.
Thank you very much, Mwakazi.
Thank you so much. Let's move to Pride in 2. Pride in 2, please. Question, 1 question, please, per delegate. Pride in 2. Sarova, be standby. As we get a question from Pride in 2, let's have Sarova. We are ready here. One question, please.
Good morning. My name is Nicholas Leting. I would like to ask Dr. Ndindi, Messenger, now that we have qualified accountants who have some knowledge through practice, we have a future of generation of young people who would like to aspire to become ESG experts. What is your advice on training institutions and examination bodies so that when we examine students, we are able to produce enough capital, human capital that can be able to take us to the next level? This is because for sustainability, we require those people who have gone through the process of studying, because those people are going to do the analysis, the sustainability measurement and policies have to have gone through a formal process. So as an examination organization where I come from, CASNEP, we would like to see how we can partner with ISSB Foundation to be able to produce not only for Kenya, but for the global market. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarova. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, presenter. My name is FCPA Samuel Alala Okello, former council member. My question is to the speaker. Thank you so much for the presentation. I'm just wondering, what is the role of AI, artificial intelligence, in implementation of S1, S2? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Over to you, CPA Wala. Messenger can start, and then we finish with Dr. Ndidi.
Thank you very much, Simon, and then after that, Ndidi.
Thank you very much for those very good questions. I will address 3 of them, and then I'll hand over to Dr. Ndidi. The first one, how can SMEs adapt sustainability reporting frameworks? It's a very good question. Clearly, especially for the S of SMEs, there are challenges in terms of having the capacity and the capability to apply any type of reporting standard. Embedded in the ISSB standards is the concept of proportionality to make sure that actually, the application itself is proportional. But as a general point, and as I said that in the presentation, one of the core concepts of the application of the ISSB standards is that every jurisdiction remains sovereign. So the detail afterwards in terms of the application is going to come down to the regulator and the approach that they take to apply it. But as a broader point, in terms of the capability and the capacity, the ISSB has developed and is developing a number of programs. There's the Knowledge Hub, which is available online, a number of capacity building programs to support both SMEs and larger organizations. So it's a bit unhelpful in some ways for me to say watch this space, but there is an ongoing program being developed, and we will be there as much as we can to create the content and the application guidances to support where we can. In terms of the question about determining the materiality of sustainability topics for stakeholders, there's probably 2 halves to this answer. As a general point, all of the typical materiality approaches which apply to what is traditionally referred to as like financial materiality, the financial reports, apply here too. So all of those internal processes, those are the ones that should be applied. In terms of identifying the metrics and understanding what may be relevant to your company, this is where there's industry standards. The acronym I mentioned earlier, SASB, Sustainability Accounting Standards Board, there's over 70 different industries with the metrics specified in each of them. So that can help along the journey. I will let NDD answer some of the other ones. Just on the last one, the role of AI in the implementation of S1 and S2. It's an evolving space. Of course, there will be a role for AI in terms of speeding up some of the analysis that has been done, speeding up some of the preparation. But as I said, it is an evolving space. There's most definitely a role for the humans going forward, both in terms of, yes, largely speaking, ensuring the robustness of the work that has been done. But the digital taxonomy, which is one of the projects we work on, helps structure the information and, I guess, work with the IT world. But like everything, I'd say AI, it will have, of course, a role in the future. Dr. Ndidi, I will let you take the other 2 questions.
I don't know if this works. It's not that clear. I'll get the microphone.
Dr. Ndidi?
Okay, it looks like the smaller microphone wasn't working. So just very quickly, so to pride in, on the mandatory reporting of S1 and S2, absolutely essential. What we've seen so far is voluntary reporting. What we're seeing the era of right now is mandatory sustainability-related financial disclosures that are in the same financial statements as you're used to and are published at the same time so that they help investors make decision-useful information. So mandatory is exactly what we're talking about. We're not talking about voluntary anymore. And I'm all for mandatory because it helps us to create one common global language for consistency and comparability across the world. It's actually really important. And let me connect it to the question in the room, which is an excellent question on AI, which is really one of the areas as well, from an African point of view, we need to ask ourselves, how does AI, how does technology, how does GPS tracking help us make our work easier? And sometimes we need to think of not only the largest listed companies, which is where sustainability reporting and even financial reporting connects, but even the smallest people, like the farmers. Because at the end of the day, that's what we all do. We all eat. And most of our food is grown by smallholder farmers. But they don't have the capability to do this kind of, even financial reporting is a challenge. However, technology like GPS tracking can enable traceability, can enable us collect the relevant data that is required to put into the mainstream financial statements of listed entities. So the importance of AI, the importance of the digital taxonomy, and the importance of technology is absolutely key to ensure cost effectiveness on the African continent. And then the very last question, which was the advice to human capital development for accountants. I love the vision. We are undermining our potential if we're not embracing entirely sustainability and climate-related risks and also opportunities, because that's where the jobs will be created. That's where the future is. Right now, we're not valuing our assets. We're not valuing our land. Does any of you know that actually in the 60s, the DRC Congo signed a treaty with a foreign entity saying that everything that is 100 meters below the soil belongs to them. And we retain everything that is from the soil 100 meters down. Isn't that crazy? It's not because we didn't know the value of our land. Because if you go back to our traditional cultures, our land is everything. And farmers know it. It's just that sometimes we're not reading the fine print and we're not participating actively. So the reason why this is a huge call in terms of human capital development and growth potential of the economies that we live in is that there are many, many, many hundreds of thousands of competent, excellent accountants across the African continent. And with the IFRS Foundation embedding sustainability-related financial disclosures in the financial statements, it means that these hundreds of thousands, in fact millions of Africans, have the potential to sit in their comfort zone. And I want to use Madam CEO's words. The weeds are strong, but our foundations are stronger. And accountants actually have the potential, I think it was Mervyn King that said this, he's also my Baba, and he's still alive and kicking. And he said accountants can change the world. And he changed the name of CFO, Chief Financial Officer, to Chief Value Officer. So I absolutely believe that the universities can and should. I hear you when you say that you'd like to partner with the ISSB on capacity building. We're working very, very strongly with ISPAC, and I'm sure that ISPAC will convene that roundtable so that we can have that conversation around capacity building with the institutions in Kenya to see how we can move that forward. Asante sini sana.
Thank you so much. Many thanks. A big round of applause to CPA John Awala. Mr. Simon Messenger and Dr. Ndidi. We have a gift of appreciation courtesy of SPAC. I'd kindly request CPA John Awala, please moderate.
Thank you very much, Kazi, for writing. I invite FCPA Korir, Chairman of the Audit Committee, National Treasury, to come forward, and also Simon for appreciation, to appreciate Simon Messenger, Senior Advisor, FRS Foundation, and then we go back to Sarova. So, very good. Yeah, you can do it down there? Yes, go ahead. Okay, as Mokazi prepare Sarova.
Yes, here at Sarova we have FCPA Mwatu appreciating Dr. Ndidi. Makofi tafadhali. Thank you
Asante
so
sana
much.
Mokazi, endelea.
Asante, many thanks indeed. A big round of applause to our speakers and the moderator. Next, ladies and gentlemen, very briefly because of time, we're going to appreciate our panelists who are already here. Let's have the screen ready. Let's have the screen ready as we appreciate our panelists.
His 30-year career as a soil science expert, publishing over 100 papers, guiding more than 50 graduate students and securing 55 research grants, has turned KCA University into a beacon of academic excellence and innovation. As Vice-Chancellor, he inspires a new era of entrepreneurial learning, cutting-edge research and regional partnerships that empower students and faculty to drive sustainable growth and global impact. Please welcome Professor Isaiah Wakindiki.
A big round of applause, please. Up next.
His 13 years of tax leadership, from advising international investors in Canada to shaping efficient structures for East African enterprises, has honed his ability to turn complex regulations into clear growth opportunities. As ACCA Advisory Committee Chairman and KPMG partner, he inspires businesses to embrace smart tax planning, unlock new potential, and confidently navigate the road ahead. Please welcome CPA FCCA Sandeep Main.
A big round of applause, please. Up next.
His 2 decades of trust